Welcome back to the weekly portfolio update videos. Currently, my two stock portfolios sit at a combined value of over $130,000. That's made up of the $68,596 of my stake portfolio and then the $6,000 or $62,091 in my Vanguard portfolio. I recently just broke the $130,000 mark, which was another goal I've ticked off as I work my way to $150,000 invested. If we have a look at my holdings, you can see the key item that's been driving up this recent rise is Alphabet. Alphabet stock is up 36% in the last 6 months, and in the last week is up over 12.6% as they did recently beat the antitrust case, which I did do a video on a few days ago. Overall, you can see my stake portfolio is up close to 40% now, or nearly $20,000, and then my Vanguard portfolio is up as well. Between the two of them, I have been dollar cost averaging in for a few years now, and it's made up of mainly ETFs. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I have tracked my journey on here for a long time. In my stake portfolio, I do hold individual stocks as well as VOO, which is my biggest position and tracks the S&P 500. So I have around just under $20,000 in VOO, and that's around 32.8 shares, and I'm up around 41%. I've been dollar cost averaging into a VOO for years now. Next is obviously Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Apple, kind of my big tech giants. And then I also own a small position in Costco, which I did sell out of some of it a while ago, and I took some gains off the table. Overall, my stake portfolio I don't invest as much into recently. It was more my starter portfolio, but if I do see opportunities in companies I like, which is what I did with Amazon and Google, when I saw them as attractive buys when the prices were quite low, I did invest a strong amount into both of them respectively, and that has generated a lot of alpha for my portfolio. Overall, my stake portfolio is getting closer and closer to hitting $70,000, which is pretty exciting. And even if we have a look at my Vanguard portfolio, it wasn't too long ago I was trying to break the $60,000 mark, and now I'm sitting at around $62,000. So I'm comfortably ahead of that. And as I continue to dollar cost average in, hopefully I can get these two portfolios to get my total portfolio wealth by the end of the year, hopefully to around $135,000, $140,000. Would be quite ambitious. But again, this hasn't been a quick journey. If we have a look at my Excel spreadsheet, this is something that I show on here quite a bit. This kind of shows it over time, my two portfolios, and you can see I've been dollar cost averaging in for years now. And as I kind of build these portfolios, I do get that snowball effect of some of the work being done for me with compounding interest. If we have a look at the two portfolios and how they're kind of made up, you can see, again, the majority of my American portfolio, 44%, is in the S&P 500, and then the remaining is in individual stocks that I've picked. And then in my Australian portfolio, over 80% is now in VGS, which is an international shares tracking ETF, and then 18% in VLC, which is an Australian index fund. So between the two of them, if we have a look over, you can see here in the previous years, just kind of the gains that's been happening since the start of this year. You can see I do these at the end of every month. So pretty much at the start of 2025, my stake portfolio was around 51,500. It's now at, like we said, around 68,500. So strong gains in this year for my stake portfolio. And my Vanguard portfolio was around 37,650. And obviously that's around $62,000 now. So lots of gains between the two of them, as it's been another strong year. Again, I'm still quite early in my investment portfolio horizon. I'm only 23 years old now. I had my birthday, so now my goal is to just kind of put in as much as I can at the moment. So that helps me over the long term. Same way with my dividends. All my dividends are reinvested back into the portfolio. This year I'm looking at getting around over $2,000 in dividends. I'm not a dividend investor, but everything I do put back in so that hopefully my next dividends are bigger and I can just keep snowballing. Last month was very small for me dividends wise. I do get larger dividends every quarter just through my ETF selections. But overall, that's kind of how things have been looking with the portfolios. What I'm looking to do, if I do put a bit more money in, I do have my bonus coming up soon. I will be hopefully putting more money into VGS. It's sitting at around $51,000 now, so that did break the $50,000 mark. It's my biggest position across both portfolios by far. And yeah, my goal is to just keep building up VGS. I think it gives me great global exposure. And then if I see any attractive prices to buy in my stake portfolio, then I will try to optimize that and get this up to 70,000. Some of the stocks that I have been looking at recently were obviously Google and Amazon. They have shot up a bit. If we have a look at Amazon in the last month, the stock is up 8.6%. So whilst it has bounced up, it is still attractive, but not quite as attractive as it was when I was buying it a bit cheaper. If we have a look at the last 6 months, I'd been buying the stock when it was under $200. You can see my average share price is 196. So I'm up around 18%. And then if we have a look at Google, this has really been a great investment for me. I'm nearly at $8,000 in equity, and I'm up around 42% with an average buy price of 164. I was heavily investing when the stock did have a dip, and I've been rewarded for that. And I still think there's potential gains from this company in the long term. Its P ratio is a bit higher now, but again, it's still well below a lot of the tech competitors in its market. But overall, that's kind of how the portfolios are weighting. Again, I'm going to keep doing these videos, tracking them. I just wanted to do a quick one today to give a portfolio update, as I did break 130,000, which is another goal to tick off. And feel free to share how your stock portfolios are doing in the comments. Cheers.